Right, let's continue designing our user interface. So right now we are going to do the top collection view cell. So we need a label on top, an image in the middle, and a label at the bottom so we can put our temperature. So in order to do that, we are going to again select, let's say weather view xib, command N, because we want to put these files into our views. And this is going to be a CocoaTouch class, and we do need an xib file, so I will click that. And the subclass is going to be a UI collection view cell, so it's going to be collection view cell subclass, and I'm going to call this forecast collection view cell. So we have our weather forecast there. So let's create, and this will have two files, the controller and the xib file, which is our view. So as you can see, it's quite small view here, which was given to us by Xcode. And if we check the size, the width and the height are 50 points. But if we remember from previous lessons, the top collection view, we have set the width to be 80 and the height to be 100. So we can go to our forecast view control, table view cell here, not table, sorry, collection view cell here. We can change the size to be width to 80 points and the height to be 100 points. So this will be our original size of our view. And now we can design the view so we can put the things we want it to have. And basically we need a label, two of it. So I can drag a label inside and copy paste. So now we have two labels, and I'm going to select both of them. So I can change the text color to be white, and the font and the size we are going to adjust as well. So I'm going to set this, let's go to our font, and this is gonna be a custom, and we're going to choose Gill Sans as we did with our other labels, and the size I'm going to keep 17. So let's click done, and our two labels are ready. So I'm going to adjust them so in order for us to be able to set our auto layout constraints properly. So we are using these blue lines. So let's just zoom in a bit. For this small view, it's quite hard to work in it. What I'm going to do is actually take these measurements that I already have. So let's go here and set the X to be 8, the Y to be 5, and the width we are going to set to 64 points, and the height is going to be 20. And the same we're going to do with our temperature label here. I'm going to set the X to be 8 points, so we are 8 points from the left wall. The Y, sorry, the Y is going to be 72. Width, again, we're going to set 64. And the height are gonna be 20 points there. And another thing we need to do is to set the labels to be centered. So now I can set my auto layout constraints. So I want left, right, top. Let's add them. And for the bottom one, we want left, right, and bottom. Let's add them as well. So the next thing, we need a image view, because we need something to show our current weather image. And let's set this size as well. So we are going to set the X point to be 25. I'm sorry, 25. The Y, I'm going to set it to 35. The width is going to be 30. And the height is going to be 30 points. So this is a square image. And let's control drag to our view here. I'm going to center this horizontally and vertically. And if you hold the shift, you can select multiple things. And also we want to set the width and height to be 30 points standard. So we have all three labels, two labels and then image view with our auto layout constraints set. Now what we need to do is to select our forecast table collection view cell, and then you can just option click on the XIB file here, so we can do our connections. I'm going to do this at the top level, where we can just put a mark and say IB outlets, and underneath we are going to do our connections. So we need our time label, our temperature label, and our image view. So this will be our time label. Then we have our temperature label, and the weather image. I'm going to call this weather icon. Icon image view. Alright, so all three connections are done. We can close our assistant editor because we no longer need it. And then we have this override function for our wake up from nib. We are not going to touch this. We are going to create our own function that is going to take weather forecast information. In our case, this will be displaying our hourly weather information. So what we want this function to do is to take our hourly weather model object, we give it to this function, and it will populate our three user interface objects. So let's say func generate cell, and we're going to give it weather, which is a type of hourly forecast. And this will take our hourly forecast and set these two labels and the image view. So it will say time label dot text is gonna be equals to weather that we're passing here, then date, because our weather has date, and now we need to get a time because it's a date object. We don't have a specific time of it. So what we can do here, as you remember from our previous lecture, we have used our extension of our date in order to get our short date version. So if we go to our extension file here, we can create another extension for us. So we say func, and I want to call this time because this is what I want to return, this current time from the date. So this is gonna return a string. And let's see what we need to do here. Again, we need to have a date formatter with a specific date format, and then we want to return it. So I'm going to copy and paste this. The only difference here is our date format. So if we want to return only the time of our date, I want to return hours and minutes. So this will be our hour and minute. So if I call my time on my date, this is a new function we just created, it will take the date and return the hours and minutes on it. So let's try to use this now. And I'm going to call it here, just after the date, I need to put a dot, and we say time. And you can see it doesn't exist yet, but if I command B to build and try it now, our compiler knows that there is a function time with our date, so it auto-completes there. So the next thing is our weather icon. So let's say weather icon image view dot image, because we want to set the image parameter, and this should be equals, and our hourly weather, if we jump to this class, jump to definition, and let's see, where is it? Weather icon is a string because it's the name of icon, and these icons we have downloaded initially from our weatherbit.io, so we can find this icon inside our assets, which we are going to import together very soon. I'm going to put actually comment this line out because first we need to import our assets. Then let's set the temp label.text, as is gonna be equals, and we are going to get our weather dot temperature, but this is a double, so we want to convert this to string. We can do a simple string interpolation here. Alright, so in next lecture we are going to see how to import these images and how to use them.